What the heck is my underwear doing on your bed? Admit it, boss, cried the housemaid, Carla, her voice filled with disbelief. Her boss smirked mischievously. No need to be shy, Carla. You're going to be my wife anyway, from maid to wife, right? And that's how this hilariously chaotic love story of Carla and Dwight began. Come with us until the very end. Get out of my house, Carla. Take all your things with you, or I'll throw them in the trash. It had been months since Carla last paid rent. Miss Betty, the landlord of the boarding house, was yelling at her while throwing her belongings out into the yard. I'm really sorry, ma'am. I don't have the money right now. My salary barely covers food. I had problems at work. Please don't kick me out. I have nowhere to go, Carla pleaded. But instead of showing sympathy, Miss Betty only grew angrier. Don't give me that sob story. I'm tired of chasing after you for payment. If you have no intention of paying, then get lost. I don't need freeloaders like you. Carla had been behind on rent for 3 months. Her income was always short, never enough to keep up. With a heavy heart, she began picking up her scattered belongings and stuffing them into her oversized bag, including her underwear and bras that were now exposed in the dirt. Geez, Miss Betty really knows how to be ruthless, Carla muttered to herself while gathering her things. Did you say something? Miss Betty glared at her. Oh no, ma'am, I was just saying I'll be leaving now, Carla replied quickly. Good, one less problem for me. Once she'd packed everything, Carla slung her heavy bag over her shoulder and walked away from the only home she had. Miss Betty watched her with arms crossed as Carla's steps faded down the street. Passers-by stared at her, but Carla didn't have the energy to care. I don't even know where I'm going. I have no place to stay, she whispered through tears, walking aimlessly on the sidewalk. She was so lost in thought that she didn't even realize she had wandered into the middle of a busy street. Thankfully, she wasn't hit. Hey, miss, are you trying to get yourself killed? Shouted a man from behind. Startled, Carla turned to see a well-dressed man standing beside an expensive car. He looked to be in his mid-40s. I'm sorry, Carla murmured, still standing dazed in the street. I've just got a lot on my mind. You should get out of the road, the man said, but Carla barely moved. Then a woman stepped out of the car. She walked toward Carla and asked, Miss, what's going on? Why do you have such a large bag with you? I got kicked out of my boarding house, Carla replied with a sad voice. Kicked out? Why? I haven't been able to pay rent for the last 3 months. My job's been unstable, and my pay's so low I can barely eat, Carla explained. The couple exchanged sympathetic looks. Oh dear, that's awful. Where are your parents? The woman asked. They died in an accident. I have no siblings either. I don't even know where I'll sleep tonight, Carla said, nearly breaking down. What's your name and how old are you? The woman asked gently. My name's Carla Simmons. I'm 28. What a lovely name, just like you, the woman said kindly. I'm Donna Isabel, and this is my husband, Don Henry. We're married. Carla gave a small, polite smile. Are you looking for work, Carla? Donna asked. Yes, I really need a new job. I have nothing left. Would you be willing to work as a maid for our son? His maid is on vacation, and we need someone to fill in. Oh yes, I'll do anything. Please, Carla pleaded. All right then, come with us to our mansion. You can start tomorrow. Don't worry, our son is kind, Donna assured her. Thank you so much. This means everything to me, Carla said, overcome with emotion. She quickly lifted her bag and followed the couple into their luxurious car. Don Henry drove off toward their mansion. Welcome to our home, Carla, he said when they arrived. Carla's eyes widened as she took in the grand estate. Wow, this place is beautiful. They must be billionaires, she whispered to herself. "Come inside and bring your things. I'll show you to your room," said Donna Isabel. Carla could hardly contain her joy. "I must be the luckiest person in the world," she whispered as she followed Donna into the house. Inside, the mansion was even more stunning. Luxurious furniture, elegant displays, and countless rooms surrounded her. "This will be your room, Carla. Bring your things in," Donna said, gesturing toward a beautiful bedroom. Carla's eyes lit up. "It's gorgeous, and there's air conditioning? Oh my gosh, I'm so lucky." "You're welcome, Carla. Just be kind and work hard. You'll be well paid," Donna said with a warm smile. "I promise, Mom. Thank you so much." "All right, I'll let you settle in while I prepare dinner. Put your things away," Donna said before stepping out. As Carla lay on the bed, she felt the cool breeze from the air conditioner. "Finally, I get to sleep on a soft bed in an air-conditioned room. This is the life." But then she frowned. Why are they being so nice to me? She shook off the thought and began unpacking. Just as she finished, Donna called from the hallway. "Carla, come down to the dining room. Dinner is ready." "Yes, Mom, I'm starving," Carla replied. She quickly followed Donna to the dining room. The smell of home-cooked food made her mouth water. "Carla, can you bring this plate to Dwight?" Donna asked, handing her a dish. "Who's Dwight?" Carla asked curiously. "He's our son, the one you'll be looking after. He's in his room. Just take the plate to him," Donna said. "Don't you usually eat together?" Carla asked. "He usually does, but he doesn't feel like coming out tonight." Carla didn't ask further and took the food toward Dwight's room. "So he needs to be served in his room? Sounds like a spoiled prince," she muttered. She had no idea what he looked like. At the door, she knocked 3 times. It was already slightly open, so she stepped inside carefully. "Dwight," she called out, glancing around. No answer. Then, from behind the desk, a strikingly handsome young man stood up, their eyes meeting. Carla was stunned. He had thick brows, deep eyes, tan skin, and a toned physique. Her jaw nearly dropped. "Who are you, and what are you doing in here?" the man asked coldly. "I'm Carla. Donna Isabel sent me to bring you dinner," she said, holding out the expensive plate. "Take it back. I'm not hungry," Dwight said sharply. "You're Dwight?" Carla asked. "Is there another Dwight in this mansion?" he replied sarcastically. "I'm the only child." Carla blinked. "Oh, I thought you'd be a kid or something." "A kid? Excuse me, do I look like I need a cane?" Dwight snapped. Handsome, but definitely rude, Carla thought. "What was that?" he asked. "Oh, nothing. I'm your new maid. I'll be taking care of you." "Great, just do your job and mind your business. I don't like nosy maids," he said sternly. "Got it, boss," Carla chirped. "Good. From now on, call me boss. I'm the one paying your salary." "Yes, boss," she replied cheerfully. "You can leave now and take the food back. I'm not hungry." Left with no choice, Carla turned around. As she walked away, she muttered, "If he wasn't my boss, I would have body-slammed that jerk." Back in the dining room, she told Donna and Don Henry, "Wow, I didn't expect the person I'd be caring for to be a grown man. I thought he'd be a little kid." "Oh, we forgot to mention, Dwight is around your age," Don Henry said with a laugh. "He's strict, but he's generous with pay." "I'll put up with his attitude for the salary," Carla replied, grinning. The couple laughed again. After dinner, Carla cleaned herself up and went to bed in her new room. "Wow, I'm living like a rich person now," she whispered, hugging the long, fluffy, hot dog-shaped pillow on her bed. "This thing is so soft, perfect to cuddle." She lay on the soft mattress, enjoying the comfort of the air conditioning. The warm, relaxing comfort of the room made her sleepy, and before long, Carla fell into a deep slumber. She didn't even know what time it was when she was woken up by loud knocking at her door. "Who's knocking?" She groaned as she sat up, hair messy and eyes still half closed. The knocking grew louder and more urgent. "Geez, it's too early for this noise. Who is it?" she shouted groggily. "Open the door. It's late. I've been waiting forever." That voice, Carla recognized it. It was Dwight. "Oh no. What now?" "That grumpy boss of mine is at it again," she muttered. She stood up, took a deep breath in and out to calm her nerves, then opened the door. "Good morning, boss," she greeted him. "What's going on? Why are you knocking like that?" Dwight stood there, looking sharp as ever. "I've been calling for you. Today's your first day of work and it's already late. You didn't even wake up." Carla blinked and looked at her watch. "Oh no, it's already 11? I overslept. I'm so sorry, sir," she said, mortified. She hadn't even washed her face or brushed her hair. "Next time, wake up early. I don't like maids who sleep in." "Yes, boss, got it," she replied, nodding quickly. "Good, you have 10 minutes to freshen up. Then come to my room," he ordered and walked away. Carla stood there, slack-jawed. 10 minutes? I haven't even brushed my hair yet." Still, she blamed herself. She rushed back into her room, fixed her bed in record time, then sprinted to the bathroom. "Shoot!" she yelped as she almost slipped, catching herself just in time. "Ugh, that man is so annoying. Always in a hurry." Suddenly, she heard footsteps approaching. She turned and saw Dwight standing there. "What was that? Were you talking about me?" he asked, crossing his arms. "Huh? No, sir. I was just rehearsing lines. I want to audition as an actress," Carla lied. "Practice later. First, handle your responsibilities in this house," Dwight said, flatly. Carla nodded silently, then went to wash up and brush her teeth. Afterward, she went straight to Dwight's room. The door was open, so she walked in. "I'm here, boss," she said. Dwight looked up from his laptop. "Clean this mess," he said. Carla glanced around the room and almost fainted. Papers everywhere, empty bottles, food wrappers, clothes, and his underwear. It looked like a tornado had hit the place. "Geez, boss, this looks like Hurricane Katrina passed through here," she muttered. Dwight gave her a sharp look. "If you're just going to complain, say so. I don't tolerate lazy workers. Just so you know, you'll be earning $30,000 a month, plus bonuses if you do well. Are we clear?" Carla's eyes widened. 30 grand a month? Whoa, that's huge. All right, boss. I'll start cleaning right away. She eagerly began picking up the mess, including a Superman-themed pair of briefs. She couldn't help but laugh when she saw it. "Superman briefs?" "Really?" she whispered, trying not to giggle too loudly. "What are you laughing at? Are you crazy?" Dwight snapped when he heard her laugh. "I'm sorry, boss. I was just surprised to see Superman briefs," she admitted, trying not to laugh again. Dwight stood up and walked toward her. "Don't make fun of my favorite underwear. That's designer," he said seriously. Carla laughed even harder. "Come on, boss. Superman. Seriously?" She kept cleaning while her stomach growled. She hadn't had breakfast yet. She hurried to finish tidying the room and then walked out, bumping into Donna in the hallway. "Oh, Carla, you're awake. Have you eaten?" Donna asked kindly. "Not yet, Mom. I just finished cleaning Dwight's room." "Well, it's good you've started working. I didn't see you earlier this morning," Donna said. "I've just been busy cleaning, ma'am," Carla replied. "Oh, I see. Well, Diego and I are heading to London tomorrow for vacation. Our family's there. You'll be in charge of Dwight while we're away." Carla's eyes widened. "You're going to London tomorrow, and I'll be left here, with Dwight?" "Yes, dear, don't worry, he's kind." Carla winced internally. Kind? I'm not sure what part of him is kind. After her conversation with Donna, Carla went to eat and then cleaned the entire mansion, determined to prove herself worthy of living there. She didn't take any of this for granted. It felt like a once-in-a-lifetime chance. The next day, Donna Isabel and Don Henry left for London. Dwight accompanied them to the airport. Meanwhile, Carla stayed behind at the mansion. "I hope I can get along with that grumpy guy," she murmured as she cleaned up Dwight's messy bedroom. She even did his laundry. "Wow, his clothes smell good, like a clean, grumpy man," she giggled, holding one of his shirts up to her nose before dropping it into the wash basin. The entire day was filled with chores for Carla. She wasn't the type to sit idle. She preferred staying busy to keep her mind off things. By evening, she had already set dinner on the table, but Dwight hadn't come home yet. "Why is he taking so long? He only dropped his parents at the airport," she mumbled. "The airport is only about 30 minutes from here. What's taking him so long?" Suddenly the front door opened. Dwight walked in, and Carla looked up from where she was standing. Her brows furrowed when she saw the fluffy white dog in his arms. "Good evening, boss. Why do you have a dog with you?" Carla asked. "What? Is it illegal to bring a dog here?" Dwight replied sarcastically. Carla frowned. "I didn't say that. I was just asking. You don't have to get all worked up." "I'm not paying you to be nosy," Dwight said flatly, then walked into his room. Carla watched him with annoyance. "He acts like that dog is so cute, but I bet it's a troublemaker. Great, just great." A few minutes later, Carla also went into her room, muttering to herself. "That guy seriously puts me in a bad mood. If I didn't need the money, I'd have left already," she said, while fixing her bed. Donna Isabel had been very particular about making sure Dwight always ate, likely because she didn't want her son to go hungry. Carla checked her watch. 8 p.m., eh? "He still hasn't eaten. What's up with that grumpy guy?" she muttered, then got up and walked to his room. The door was open, and she could see him sitting there with a bottle of liquor in hand. Without hesitation, Carla walked inside. "Excuse me, boss, have you eaten yet?" she asked. Dwight looked surprised to see her. "Eat if you want, just leave me alone," he muttered. "But Donna Isabel told me not to let you skip meals," Carla said softly. "I'm not a child. I know what I'm doing. I know what's good and what's not," Dwight snapped. Carla put her hands on her hips. "You think drinking yourself silly is good for you? You haven't even had dinner." Dwight stood up and faced her. "Since when did you start meddling in my life?" he said, his voice slightly slurred. Carla sighed. "I'm not meddling, boss. I'm just concerned about your health." Dwight sat back down and took another swig from the bottle. "All women are the same," he muttered. "You love them right and they still aren't satisfied." "Boss, are you heartbroken?" Carla asked with a smirk. She had a feeling she was starting to get a read on him. "I don't know what went wrong. I gave Felice everything. We were together for 2 years. Then one day, she left me for some guy she just met. She betrayed me." The bottle shattered in his grip as he slammed it down. "Honestly, boss, I don't know if I should laugh or feel sorry for you. You're so handsome and you're crying over a girl. Maybe she just didn't deserve you," Carla said. "You should eat and get some rest." Dwight didn't respond. Carla tried to take the bottle from him, but he was stronger. "Stop it, Carla. Leave me alone. You don't know how deep this pain runs," he said, nearly shouting. "I get it, boss. Just let it out," Carla replied gently, trying to comfort him. "Felice was the first woman I ever loved," he said. "I really thought we'd be together forever. I was wrong. She never really loved me the way I loved her." "It's okay, boss. You'll be fine," Carla assured him. After a few more minutes, Dwight lay down on his bed. Sleep took him almost instantly, likely from the alcohol. Carla sighed. "Love really makes people lose their minds," she whispered, as she started picking up the broken glass from the floor. Dwight was now fast asleep, while Carla kept cleaning up his room. She glanced around. It was a large room with many framed photos. One picture caught her attention. She walked closer to see it better. It was a photo of a woman with the name Felice written on the side. So that's Felice, the girl he was obsessed with, Carla said quietly. She's pretty, but she doesn't deserve him. Dwight is loyal. She couldn't even stick to one guy. Felice had smooth skin, a sharp nose, soft pink lips, and almond-shaped eyes. She clearly came from a wealthy family, just like Dwight. Honestly, I'd rather be with someone average-looking who's loyal than someone pretty who breaks hearts, Carla whispered. How do people like her sleep at night knowing they hurt someone like him? She glanced back at Dwight. At least he's resting now. Poor guy. Carla quietly left the room and went back to her own. She sat on her bed, thinking for a long time, until eventually sleep claimed her. The next morning, Carla stepped out into the living room and found Dwight sitting alone, drinking coffee and playing with the dog. Good morning, Carla. Want some coffee? Dwight greeted. Carla's brows furrowed. That was the first time she'd ever heard him greet anyone kindly. What's gotten into you, boss? You're unusually nice this morning. Dwight chuckled. Do I really seem that mean? I don't know. From the moment I got here, you acted like the world owed you something, Carla replied. He smiled. Sorry, I've always been nice. Just had a lot on my mind lately. I'm the type who gets cranky when I'm not in the mood. Carla smiled back, feeling a little lighter around him. So you like dragging innocent people into your bad moods, huh? Go wash up and come have coffee with me, Dwight offered. Carla obeyed without question. She was pleasantly surprised by this softer side of him. She was a coffee lover too, and her day wasn't complete without a cup. Soon, the two of them were sipping coffee in the living room, exchanging playful jabs. That morning marked the beginning of a growing closeness between them. As time passed, Carla received her salary and was able to buy things she wanted. She'd been working for Dwight as a maid for 5 months now, and they had shared many memories in that time. One afternoon, Carla was watering the plants in the front yard when Dwight came out to join her. He looked sharp in his jeans and a fitted white t-shirt. You've been taking care of these plants pretty well, he said. Carla smiled. I love doing it. I used to help my mom tend our little garden back home. Dwight watched her silently for a few seconds. Hey, do you want to grab dinner later tonight? Carla turned to him, surprised. Me? With you? Well, you're the only one here. I'm not asking the dog, Dwight replied with a smirk. Carla chuckled. Okay, boss. Sure, but I'll need to change into something decent. You always look fine, Dwight said casually before heading back inside. That night, Carla wore a modest black dress and tied her hair into a loose ponytail. When she came downstairs, Dwight was already waiting for her by the door. He looked at her for a moment, then gave a faint smile. You clean up nice, he said. Carla tried not to blush. Thanks. You look good too. They went to a quiet steakhouse in the city. During dinner, Dwight opened up more than he ever had before. He talked about his childhood, how his parents raised him to be strong and independent, and how he built his business from the ground up. Carla listened intently, her respect for him growing. You know, I never thought I'd end up hiring someone like you, Dwight said as he took a sip of wine. Someone like me? Carla asked. Yeah, you're smart, funny, and honest. Most people who work for me are scared stiff. But you're not afraid to call me out when I'm being a jerk. Carla laughed. Well, someone has to keep you grounded, boss. Dwight leaned forward. You've been more than just a maid around here. You've become someone important. Carla's heart skipped a beat. She didn't know what to say, so she just smiled. They finished dinner and drove home in comfortable silence. A few days later, Carla received a phone call that shook her world. It was from her uncle in her hometown. "Carla, it's your mother," he said. "She's in the hospital. She had a stroke." Carla felt the ground disappear beneath her. "What? Is she okay? What hospital?" "She's stable now, but the bills are piling up. We can't afford them," her uncle said. "I'll be there right away," Carla replied, her voice trembling. She ran to her room, packed a small bag, then knocked on Dwight's door. "What's wrong?" he asked when he saw her teary eyes. "It's my mom. She had a stroke. I have to go home," Carla said. "Wait, don't go yet. Let me come with you," Dwight offered. Carla blinked. "What? You don't have to." "I want to," he insisted. "Let me help." They boarded the next flight to her hometown. At the hospital, Carla rushed to her mother's side and held her hand, tears falling freely. Dwight stood nearby, quietly observing, his expression unreadable. When Carla turned to him, he walked over and gently placed a hand on her shoulder. "She's going to be okay," he said. "We'll get her the best care." Carla looked at him, overwhelmed. "Thank you, Dwight. You didn't have to do this." "I know, but I wanted to," he replied. He stepped out to speak with the doctor and returned with good news. They had arranged for her mother to be transferred to a private hospital, and all expenses would be covered. "Why are you doing this for me?" Carla asked. "Because I care about you," Dwight said simply. Carla didn't know what to say. She just nodded, eyes misty with emotion. Back at the house, Carla sat by her mother's side, holding her hand. Dwight stayed nearby, helping however he could. Over the next few days, he made sure Carla had everything she needed: food, support, and comfort. When her mother finally opened her eyes and smiled weakly at her, Carla cried with relief. "Thank you, God," she whispered. Dwight stepped forward. "Ma'am, you have a very strong daughter." Her mother looked at Carla, then at Dwight, and gave a small nod. "Take care of her." "I will," Dwight promised. After a few more days at the hospital, Carla's mother was discharged. Her recovery was slow but steady. Carla stayed by her side, ensuring she took her medications and ate properly. Dwight, on the other hand, remained in town, checking in constantly and taking care of the hospital bills without ever mentioning the cost. One morning, Carla found him outside the hospital, sitting on a bench and staring off into the distance. "You okay?" she asked gently, walking up to him. Dwight turned to her and nodded. "Yeah, I was just thinking." "About what?" "My dad. He died of a stroke too." Carla sat beside him, surprised. "I didn't know that." "It happened fast. He didn't even make it to the hospital. That's why I can't stand hospitals. They bring back memories," Dwight said, his voice low. Carla didn't say anything. She simply reached for his hand and held it. Dwight looked down at their joined hands, then at her. "Thanks for staying with me," he said. "I should be the one saying that," Carla replied. "You've been helping my mum, my family. You didn't have to do any of that." "I wanted to," Dwight said quietly. They stayed like that for a while, silent but close. A week later, Dwight told Carla it was time for them to go back to the city. Her mother was recovering well, and the doctor had given the go-ahead for Carla to return to work. Carla hugged her mum tightly. "I'll come back to visit soon, I promise." Her mum smiled. "Go. Live your life. Dwight is a good man." "I know," Carla whispered. Back in the city, things slowly returned to normal. Carla resumed her duties around the house, and Dwight went back to managing his business. But there was something different between them now, something unspoken but deeply felt. One evening, Carla was in the kitchen, preparing dinner when Dwight walked in. He leaned against the counter, watching her. "You've been quiet lately," he said. "I've just been thinking," Carla replied. "About what?" "About everything. About how much has changed since I got here." Dwight stepped closer. "Is that a good thing or a bad thing?" "I don't know yet," Carla said with a small smile. "Sometimes it feels too good to be true." "Well, believe it," Dwight said. "Because it is true." Carla paused, then looked up at him. "Why me, Dwight? Why did you choose to help me?" He didn't answer right away. He took a deep breath, then said, "Because you remind me of who I used to be, before the money, before the bitterness. You're genuine, you're not pretending, and I trust you." Carla swallowed hard, touched by his words. Dwight reached out and brushed a strand of hair from her face. "You've changed me, Carla, and I didn't even realize it until now." Carla felt her heart race. She looked into his eyes and saw the sincerity there. "I don't know what to say," she whispered. "Then don't say anything," Dwight replied, leaning in slowly. Their lips met in a soft, tentative kiss, one that deepened as they both gave in to the feelings they had kept hidden for so long. When they finally pulled away, Carla's cheeks were flushed. Dwight grinned. "Now you're really blushing." "Shut up," Carla said, laughing. They finished preparing dinner together, stealing glances and teasing smiles as they moved around the kitchen. That night, they ate together like they had so many times before. But this time, something had shifted. They were no longer just boss and maid. They were something more. The next day, Carla woke up early and prepared breakfast like usual. Dwight wasn't up yet, so she tiptoed around the kitchen, trying not to make too much noise. When he finally emerged from his room, he was wearing a relaxed smile, something she was getting used to seeing. "Morning," he greeted, walking straight to the table. "Good morning, boss," Carla replied teasingly. "I told you to stop calling me that," he said, sitting down. "You make it sound like we're strangers." "I'm just used to it," Carla replied as she placed a plate of eggs and toast in front of him. "Let's try something new then," he said, looking at her intently. "Call me Dwight, just Dwight." Carla blinked. "Okay, Dwight." He grinned. "There you go." They shared a quiet breakfast, filled with light conversation and easy laughter. The air between them had become more comfortable, less guarded. Carla noticed how Dwight was more open now, more present. And Dwight noticed how Carla lit up the house with her simple presence. Later that afternoon, Carla was doing laundry when her phone rang. It was her cousin, Mia. "Carla, oh my gosh, I have big news," Mia shrieked on the other end. "What is it?" Carla asked, wiping her hands dry. "I got hired. I'm moving to the city next week." "That's amazing," Carla said, thrilled. "Where are you staying?" "Well, I was hoping I could stay with you for a bit, just until I find a place." Carla hesitated. "I have to ask Dwight first. This is his house." "Please, just ask him. I promise I won't be any trouble," Mia begged. Okay, I'll talk to him," Carla said, ending the call. That evening, she found Dwight on the patio with a glass of wine. "Hey, can I ask you something?" she began. "Shoot. My cousin just got hired here in the city. She needs a place to stay while she gets settled. Would it be okay if she stayed here for a bit?" Dwight considered it for a moment. "Is she anything like you?" Carla smiled. "She's a little louder." He chuckled. "All right, but she follows the house rules." "Thank you," Carla said, relieved. Mia arrived the following week with a large suitcase and an even larger personality. She was bubbly and excitable, hugging Carla tightly as soon as she arrived. "Oh my gosh, this place is huge. she exclaimed, looking around the house. Dwight came downstairs, and Carla introduced him. "Hi, you must be the famous Dwight," Mia said boldly, holding out her hand. Dwight raised an eyebrow, but shook it. "And you must be the infamous cousin." Mia laughed, unbothered. "Guilty." Carla shook her head, embarrassed, but Dwight seemed amused. Over the next few days, Mia settled in. She quickly got along with everyone, even the dog, whom she started calling Fluffbutt. Carla found herself grateful for her cousin's energy, even if it was a bit overwhelming at times. One night, Mia cornered Carla in the kitchen. "So, what's the deal with you and Dwight?" she asked, wiggling her eyebrows. "There is no deal," Carla replied, keeping her focus on the dishes. "Oh, please, you're glowing. Something definitely happened." Carla blushed. "Keep your voice down." Mia squealed. "I knew it." "Nothing's official," Carla said quickly. "We're just seeing where it goes." "Well, I hope it goes somewhere nice, because that man is hot, and if you don't lock it down, someone else will," Mia teased. Carla rolled her eyes, but deep down, she knew her cousin was right. The following day, Carla went to the grocery store with Mia. As they walked through the aisles, Mia tossed items into the cart without thinking twice. "Mia, do you really need 3 boxes of cereal?" Carla asked. "They're on sale." Mia grinned. Carla laughed and shook her head. On their way back home, they passed by a bakery. Carla stopped walking. "What is it?" Mia asked. "This is where I used to work," Carla said softly. Mia looked at the shop. "Do you want to go in?" Carla shook her head. "Not really, just a lot of memories." They continued walking. Back at the house, Dwight was on a call in his study. Carla quietly walked past so she wouldn't disturb him. Later that evening, after dinner, Dwight joined Carla on the patio. "Long day?" he asked. Carla nodded. "Grocery shopping with Mia feels like running a marathon." Dwight chuckled. "She's a handful, huh?" "She's just excited. This is her first job in the city." Dwight took a sip from his glass. "You've been quiet today." Carla looked down. "I passed by the bakery earlier, the one I used to work at." "Brought back memories?" he asked. She nodded. "Some good, some not so good. But I'm grateful. If things hadn't gone the way they did, I wouldn't be here now." Dwight looked at her. "I'm glad you're here." Carla smiled. "Me too." They sat in silence for a while, comfortable in each other's company. The next morning, Mia came bouncing into Carla's room. "Wake up, sleepyhead. It's my first day." Carla groaned. "You're too excited for 6 a.m. Mia pulled the blanket off her. "Come on, help me pick an outfit." After helping Mia get ready, Carla watched her cousin leave for work with a wide smile. She remembered her own first day in the city. The nerves, the uncertainty, and the hope. Later that day, Carla was cleaning the living room when Dwight came in, holding a large envelope. "What's that?" she asked. He handed it to her. "Open it." Inside was a contract. "I'm setting up a new branch. I need someone to manage the office. I want you to take the lead," Dwight said. Carla's eyes widened. "Me? But I'm not qualified." "Yes, you are," Dwight interrupted. "You've handled this house better than most executives handle their staff. You're organized, smart, and you know how to deal with people. I believe in you." Carla looked at the contract again, overwhelmed. "This is a lot." "You don't have to answer now," Dwight said. "Think about it." Carla nodded slowly. "Thank you for believing in me." Dwight smiled. "You're welcome." That night, Carla lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. Her mind was spinning. She never imagined her life would change this much. From a bakery worker to a housemaid, and now possibly an office manager. Was this really happening? The next morning, Carla was up early. She took a long shower, ate a light breakfast, and sat quietly in the living room, reading through the contract again. Dwight entered and saw her deep in thought. "You're up early," he said. "I wanted to go over the contract," Carla replied. Dwight sat across from her. "And?" Carla looked up. "I'll do it. I'll accept the offer." A smile spread across Dwight's face. "That's great news. I just hope I don't mess it up," she added nervously. "You won't. I know you won't," Dwight said, confidently. They shared a proud smile. Later that day, Mia came home from work, visibly tired but beaming. "I survived my first day," she announced. Carla and Dwight clapped for her. "We should celebrate," Dwight said. "Let's go out for dinner." "Yes, food I didn't cook," Mia cheered. They went to a casual restaurant and spent the evening chatting, laughing, and sharing stories. It felt like family. Dwight and Carla sat close, their bond quietly deepening with each passing moment. On the drive home, Carla rested her head against the window, thinking about how far she had come. She glanced at Dwight, who was focused on the road, then at Mia in the back seat, humming to herself. This felt right. This felt like home. The next few weeks flew by. Carla began her training for the new position. She worked closely with Dwight's team, learned the ins and outs of the company, and even started to dress more professionally. Mia also settled into her job well, making friends quickly and adapting to city life. One afternoon, Carla received a call from her mother. "Sweetheart, how are you?" her mother asked. "I'm doing well, Mom. I've started working in Dwight's company," Carla replied, smiling. "That's wonderful. I'm so proud of you." "Thanks, Mom." "And Dwight? Is he treating you right?" her mother added. Carla's heart fluttered. "He's very kind." Her mother chuckled. "Sounds like someone's falling." Carla laughed, embarrassed. "Mum, well, if he makes you happy, that's all I need to know." Later that night, Carla stood on the balcony, looking up at the stars. Dwight joined her, a warm drink in hand. "What are you thinking about?" he asked. "My mum, she called today. She asked about you," Carla replied. "Oh? And what did you say?" "That you're kind." Dwight sipped his drink. "Kind, that's all?" Carla smiled. "Do you want me to say more?" "That depends," he said playfully. She turned to him. "What do you want me to say?" "That you like me," he said, watching her carefully. Carla's smile softened. "I do like you." Dwight took a step closer. "Good, because I like you too." They stood there, close and quiet, the night air cool around them. Slowly, Dwight reached for her hand. She didn't pull away, and in that moment, everything felt perfectly, beautifully still. Days passed, and Carla's new position came with its own set of challenges. She was now juggling meetings, organizing files, learning protocols, and managing her time between the house and the office. At first, it was overwhelming, but Dwight was always there to support her. "You're doing great," he reassured her one evening, after she came home looking completely drained. "I feel like I'm drowning in paperwork," she groaned. "You'll adjust. You're already more efficient than half of my staff," he said with a wink. Carla smiled, grateful for his encouragement. Mia, ever the lively presence at home, noticed how close the two had become. "Just move into his room already," she teased one evening as they watched TV. Carla threw a pillow at her. "Stop it." "I'm just saying," Mia grinned. "You guys are obviously into each other." Carla didn't deny it, but neither did she say anything. One Saturday morning, Dwight invited Carla out to the countryside for a break. He said she needed to relax. They drove out of the city and spent the day at a peaceful lake resort. Carla was in awe of the view, the calm waters, the open skies, the fresh air. "This is beautiful," she said, standing at the edge of the dock. "I thought you'd like it," Dwight replied. They spent the day kayaking, eating grilled seafood, and lying on hammocks beneath the trees. Dwight didn't talk much about business that day. Instead, he asked Carla about her childhood, her dreams, and her favorite memories. "I always wanted to be a teacher," she shared. "Why didn't you pursue it?" he asked. "Life happened," she said with a shrug. "We didn't have the money, so I helped out however I could." "You'd be a great teacher," Dwight said. Carla smiled. "Thanks." As the sun set, they sat on a blanket by the lake, watching the sky change colors. Dwight reached for her hand again, and she let him hold it. "You're not just someone who works for me," he said. "I know," Carla whispered. "I think about you. A lot," he continued. "I think about you too," she admitted. He turned to face her, eyes full of emotion. "I don't want to mess this up." "You won't," she said. "We'll take it slow." Dwight nodded. "Slow is fine, as long as it's real." "It is," Carla said with a smile. He leaned in, and they kissed again, this time with more certainty. As the stars appeared overhead, Carla leaned against his shoulder, content. For the first time in a long while, she felt peace, not just with her surroundings, but with him. The following week, things returned to their usual rhythm. Carla went back to work, now confident in her role. Her co-workers respected her, and some even looked to her for guidance. Dwight stayed true to his word. He didn't pressure her, but his presence was constant, supportive, and reassuring. One evening, Carla came home to find Mia sitting on the couch with a worried expression. "What's wrong?" Carla asked, placing her bag down. "It's Mom," Mia said. "She called earlier. Dad lost his job. Things are tight back home." Carla sat beside her. "Did she say what they needed?" "Just some help for a few months with groceries and bills," Mia said quietly. Carla didn't hesitate. "We'll send them money." "But your savings—" "I'll talk to Dwight," Carla said. That night she brought it up after dinner. Dwight didn't even flinch. "Of course I'll help," he said. "Tell me what they need." Carla was stunned. "You've already done so much." "It's fine. They're your family," he said simply. She blinked back tears. "Thank you." "I told you, I care about you," he replied. Mia's parents received the help they needed, and life slowly became manageable again. The days passed with quiet normalcy. Carla and Dwight's relationship grew stronger, not in grand declarations, but in the little things, how he waited up for her after work, how she packed his lunch with handwritten notes, how they shared inside jokes at the dinner table. One night, Carla found an envelope on her pillow. Inside was a photo of them from the lake resort, and a handwritten note from Dwight. "You're the best decision I've ever made." Carla clutched the note to her chest, heart full. A few days later, Carla got an unexpected call from the company's head office. They wanted her to attend a leadership seminar in Chicago, all expenses paid. "I've never even been on a business trip," she told Dwight, wide-eyed. "You'll do great," he said proudly. "I'm nervous." "Don't be. They wouldn't have chosen you if they didn't see something special." Carla smiled, though nerves still swirled in her chest. The day she was to leave, Dwight drove her to the airport. "I'll miss you," she said, as they stood by the terminal gate. "It's just 3 days," Dwight said, squeezing her hand. "Go shine." She boarded the plane with her heart pounding. It was a big step, but she was ready. 3 days passed in a blur of meetings, group activities, and keynote speeches. Carla learned a lot and connected with other young professionals. But deep down, she missed home. She missed him. When she returned, Dwight was waiting for her at the gate. "You look different," he said, as they walked toward the car. I feel different, she replied. Later that evening, as they sat on the couch together, Carla turned to him and said, I think I'm ready. For what? He asked. To stop being scared, to let this be real. Dwight pulled her into a hug. It's already real. They held each other tightly, knowing that whatever came next, they'd face it together. The next few months passed quietly, with Carla becoming more and more comfortable in her position and in her relationship with Dwight. They had found a rhythm, balancing work and personal life, sharing responsibilities, and growing closer every day. One Saturday morning, Carla stood in front of the bathroom mirror, brushing her hair, when she suddenly paused. She felt dizzy. Placing a hand on the sink, she steadied herself. After a few moments, the feeling passed. She assumed it was just fatigue and didn't mention it. But over the next few days, the dizziness continued. She also noticed she had been unusually sensitive to smells and had been feeling nauseous in the mornings. Mia was the first to notice. Are you okay? She asked as Carla pushed her breakfast away. I'm just a little off, Carla said. Maybe it's something I ate. Mia stared at her. Or maybe you're pregnant. Carla froze. What? I'm serious. When was your last period? Carla tried to remember. Her heart began to race. Later that day, she went to the pharmacy and bought a test. She waited until everyone was asleep before sneaking into the bathroom. Minutes passed. She stared at the result, her breath catching. Positive. Carla sat on the edge of the tub, stunned. Her mind raced with questions, fears, and what-ifs. She didn't sleep that night. The next morning, she avoided Dwight, claiming she had work to catch up on. But he noticed her unease. That evening, he approached her in the kitchen. Something's bothering you. What is it? Carla hesitated, then took a deep breath. I'm pregnant. Silence. Dwight's expression shifted from surprise to concern to something softer. Are you sure? He asked gently. She nodded. I took a test. He reached for her hand. Okay. That's it? Just okay. I mean, yeah, I didn't plan for this, but I'm not running away from it either, Dwight said. Are you okay? I don't know, Carla admitted. I'm scared. We'll figure this out, together, he said. Tears welled in her eyes. You're not mad? Number. Not at all, he said, pulling her into a hug. I'm here. We're in this together. Mia screamed with excitement when she found out. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be an auntie, she shouted, nearly jumping off the couch. Carla laughed through her nerves. Please don't tell anyone else yet. I won't, but oh my God, Carla. Over the next few weeks, Carla adjusted to the idea of becoming a mother. Dwight attended her doctor's appointments, stocked the kitchen with her cravings, and even started reading baby books. One night, as they lay in bed, Dwight placed his hand gently over her belly. I still can't believe it, he whispered. Me neither, Carla replied. But I'm happy, really happy. She looked at him, her heart full. Me too. And just like that, they began preparing, not just for the arrival of a baby, but for a new chapter in their lives, together. Carla's pregnancy journey brought changes, both expected and surprising. She became more emotional, sometimes crying over the smallest things, like running out of ice cream or a cute baby video on her phone. Dwight learned to navigate her mood swings with patience and humor. I'm sorry I snapped at you, Carla said one night after getting upset over spilled juice. Dwight handed her a fresh glass. You're growing a human. You can yell at me if you need to. She smiled, touched. You're too good to me. I love you, he said simply. Carla froze. Her heart skipped. I love you, he repeated, looking her straight in the eyes. It was the first time he'd said it. I love you too, she whispered. From that moment, everything shifted. The connection between them deepened, anchored by words that meant everything. As her belly grew, so did the excitement in their home. Mia began collecting baby clothes and decorating a corner of the guest room for the baby's things. Dwight started building a crib by hand, insisting he wanted something made with love. One evening, as Carla rested on the couch with her feet up, Dwight came in with a notebook. "What's that?" she asked. "Baby names," he grinned. "I've got a list." Carla laughed. "Let me see." They spent hours going through names, some traditional, some unique, some just plain silly. "What about Aiden?" Dwight suggested. Maybe. What if it's a girl?" "Sophia?" "Too common." "Zara?" Carla's face lit up. "I like that." They circled it. With every passing week, anticipation grew. Dwight made sure Carla never lifted anything heavy, that she rested when needed, and that she never missed a meal. He even took a step back from work to be home more often. Then came the day of the gender reveal. They decided to keep it small, just the three of them. Mia baked a cake, and inside was either blue or pink frosting. Carla cut into it slowly, her hands trembling. Pink. "It's a girl!" Mia screamed. Carla covered her mouth, eyes wide with joy. Dwight hugged her tightly, burying his face in her neck. "A girl," he whispered. "Our little girl." Carla cried, happy tears, grateful tears. Later that night, they lay in bed, talking softly. "Do you think we'll be good parents?" Carla asked. "I think we'll be great," Dwight replied, "because we already love her." Carla placed his hand over her belly. "She's lucky to have you." Dwight kissed her forehead. "Number, I'm the lucky one." As they drifted off to sleep, their hearts were full of love, of hope, of dreams for the little girl who was already changing their world. As the months passed, Carla's pregnancy advanced beautifully. The nursery was almost complete, the crib polished and painted soft cream, and tiny clothes folded neatly in drawers. Dwight installed baby monitors and stocked up on everything they could possibly need: diapers, wipes, pacifiers, bottles. Carla often stood by the window in the baby's room, hand on her belly, swaying gently to music. Sometimes Mia would join her, resting her head on Carla's shoulder. "You're going to be a great mom," Mia would whisper. Carla would smile and reply, "Because I had to grow up fast." Her past struggles weren't forgotten. They had shaped her, but they didn't define her. She was determined to raise her child in love and stability. One weekend, Dwight surprised her with a maternity photo shoot. Carla blushed when the photographer asked her to cradle her belly and look lovingly at Dwight, but the resulting photos were breathtaking, raw, warm, and full of joy. After the shoot, they went out for dinner, and Dwight took her hand across the table. "There's something I want to ask you," he said. Carla looked up. "What is it?" Dwight reached into his pocket and placed a small box on the table. Carla froze. He opened it slowly, revealing a delicate gold ring with a tiny diamond, elegant and simple, just like her. "I know the timing's unconventional, but I don't care. I want to marry you, not because of the baby, but because I can't imagine life without you." Tears streamed down Carla's cheeks as she nodded. "Yes," she whispered. Dwight slid the ring onto her finger, and the restaurant erupted into soft applause from a nearby table that had been eavesdropping. Back home, Mia screamed so loud the neighbors probably heard. "Oh my God, you're going to be my sister for real!" Everything felt surreal. Carla had never dreamed of this life, but now that it was here, she embraced it completely. A few weeks later, at her final ultrasound, they saw their baby girl again on the monitor, fists curled, feet kicking gently. "She's strong," the doctor said, "and almost ready." Carla squeezed Dwight's hand. He kissed her temple. On the drive home, they talked about the hospital bag, the birth plan, and who would be in the delivery room. "I want you there," Carla said. You and Mia. We'll be right beside you, Dwight promised. That night, as they lay in bed, Dwight rested his head on Carla's belly. "Hi, baby girl," he whispered. "We're waiting for you. Your mom is amazing, and I can't wait for you to meet her." Carla blinked back tears, heart swelling. She had come a long way from that girl who answered a housekeeping ad in desperation. Now she was a mother-to-be, a fiancée, and a woman deeply loved, and her story was still unfolding. The next few days passed in a blur of final preparations. Carla packed her hospital bag with care, comfortable clothes, baby blankets, and the tiny outfit they'd chosen for their daughter to wear home. Mia triple-checked the checklist and even snuck in snacks. Then, one early morning, it happened. Carla woke to a sharp pain in her abdomen. At first, she thought it was a false alarm, but when the second wave of pain hit her, stronger and more insistent, she gripped the bed frame and called out. Dwight rushed in, eyes wide. "Is it time?" "I think so," Carla gasped. Mia leapt from her room, already dressed. "Let's go!" They made it to the hospital in record time. Carla was wheeled into a room while Dwight signed paperwork and Mia held her hand tightly. The hours crawled by. Carla breathed through contractions, Dwight wiping her forehead and whispering encouragement. Mia never left her side, keeping Carla distracted with stories and jokes when she wasn't in pain. After hours of labor, Carla was exhausted, drenched in sweat and barely holding on. "You can do this," Dwight said, his voice steady. "You're almost there." And then, finally, after a final, determined push, the sound of a baby's cry filled the room. Carla sobbed as the doctor placed her newborn daughter on her chest. She was tiny and pink, with a shock of dark hair and fierce lungs. Carla kissed her head, over and over, her tears mixing with laughter. Dwight stared, speechless, eyes shining with emotion. "She's perfect," he said. Mia wiped her own eyes. "She's so beautiful." The nurse cleaned and swaddled the baby, then handed her to Dwight. He cradled her like something sacred. "Hi, baby girl, I'm your dad." Carla watched him, overwhelmed with love. Her heart had never been so full. Later that night, after everyone had left and the room was quiet, Carla held her daughter close. Dwight sat beside her, arm wrapped around both of them. "She looks like you," Carla said softly. "She has your eyes," he replied. They named her Aria Grace, and from the very beginning, she was surrounded by love. Bringing Aria home was both thrilling and terrifying. Carla had read all the books, watched all the videos, and taken all the advice she could get, but nothing truly prepared her for the real thing. The sleepless nights, the constant feedings, the diaper changes, it was a whirlwind. But she wasn't alone. Dwight took paternity leave and was hands-on with everything. He rocked Aria to sleep when Carla was too tired to lift her arms. He learned how to swaddle like a pro. He even sang lullabies off-key, which somehow always made Aria calm down. Mia, of course, was obsessed. She took 1,000 photos and made silly videos, narrating Aria's every movement as if she were filming a documentary. Today, Aria blinked, and it was magical, she'd say, dramatically into her phone. Carla laughed more than she had in years. Even when her body ached and her eyes burned with exhaustion, her heart felt light. One evening, as Carla nursed Aria in the rocking chair, she looked out the window at the quiet street and marveled at how much her life had changed. A few months ago, she'd been desperate and uncertain, answering a job ad just to survive. And now, she was a mother, a fiancée, a woman surrounded by warmth and love. Dwight walked in, holding 2 mugs of warm tea. He handed one to her and kissed her temple. "She asleep?" he asked, sitting on the armrest of the chair. "Almost," Carla whispered. They sat in silence, watching Arya drift off. The soft creak of the rocking chair filled the room. "I've been thinking," Dwight said quietly. Carla looked at him. "Let's get married. Not someday. Soon. I don't want to wait." She blinked. "You mean like now?" He nodded. "Something small. Just us, Mia, and maybe your mum, if she can come." Carla thought for a moment, then smiled. "Okay, let's do it." A week later, they stood in a sunlit garden outside the courthouse. Carla wore a simple white dress, her hair in soft curls. Dwight wore a crisp shirt and slacks. Mia held Arya, beaming as if it were her own wedding day. The officiant kept it short and sweet. Vows were exchanged. Tears were shed. And when Dwight kissed Carla, the world around them blurred in the best way. They went home afterward, ordered takeout, and celebrated with a quiet dinner in their backyard. No grand ballroom, no band, no champagne, just love. Carla sat with Arya in her lap, watching Dwight and Mia dance to a song playing from a phone speaker. And she knew this was all she needed. Her little family, her second chance, her forever. The months that followed were filled with new milestones. Arya's first smile, her first laugh, the first time she rolled over. Every moment felt like magic. Carla kept a journal to record it all, determined to never forget a single detail. Mia continued to dote on Arya, like the proud aunt she was, often volunteering to babysit, so Dwight and Carla could have some time alone. Sometimes they'd go out for dinner. Other times they'd just take a walk in the park, hand in hand, grateful for a moment of quiet. One afternoon, Carla received a call from a nearby community center. They were looking for someone to teach reading classes to adults, and had heard about her from one of Dwight's colleagues. "We understand you don't have a degree, but we were told you're passionate, organized, and great with people," the woman on the phone said. Carla's heart raced. I'd love to." It was just a few hours a week, but it meant the world to her. Standing in front of a class, helping people learn how to read, lit something inside her that she thought she had buried years ago. After her first class, she came home glowing. Dwight met her at the door and kissed her. "You were amazing," he said. "You weren't even there," she laughed. "I didn't have to be. I know you." Carla continued teaching, and with time, she even began planning to go back to school part-time. Dwight supported her every step of the way, even offering to pay for her classes. "I want you to have everything you gave up," he said. They built a life together, not perfect, but real, full of laughter, challenges, growth, and love. And through it all, Carla never forgot where she started. The girl who once cleaned other people's homes was now building a home of her own, filled with purpose and joy. One quiet night, as Arya slept soundly in her crib, Carla stood by the window with a cup of tea in her hands. Dwight came up behind her and wrapped his arms around her waist. "What are you thinking about?" he asked. "Everything," she said softly. "How far we've come." He kissed her cheek. "And how far we'll go." She leaned into him, content, because she knew that whatever came next, they would face it together. As a family, as home. The end. Thanks for watching this hilarious tale. Drop me a comment in the comment section below. My name if Mr. Hope your favorite narrator. Until we meet again, be safe.